Hello, everybody. It is I, Krazy, or Crazy, and I am your local crazy resident of the Crazy Krazy channel. Now, you might be asking, "Hey, this isn't BFYM." For those who don't know, that is a series on this channel. Um, so I'm not can't. Don't get worried. Don't get worried. I haven't taken my attention off of that series, but I want to share something that I thought that was really cool. So, um, I I have a Discord account because I am a big boy. I am old enough to be on Discord now. I used to not be, but we don't talk about that. Um, so yeah, I have a Discord account, and I recently, like a week or two ago, joined an object camp. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's my dog. Okay, I recently joined an object camp. It is called Party Paradise 2. It is the second one. There was a first one. I was not there for it, unfortunately, but it's probably not important. Maybe. Anyway, Party Paradise 2. Initially, I did not get in, but then someone unfortunately ended up having to go. So I was a replacement, which I feel kind of weird about, but yeah, whatever. But anyway, I decided even before I was casted as a replacement, I was intensely reading the role plays because actually, yeah, I haven't been in an object camp, an object like Rampa. That's what they. By the way, if you don't know what an object Rampa is, it's a Danganronpa camp killing game with objects. As you can see here, they are all objects, most of them. Some of them kind of teetering the line a bit from what you're usually used to, but that's object OCs for you. Um, what was I saying? So it has been over a year since I've last joined an object camp, so I really wanted to get back into the swing of it. So I was intensely watching the role plays, and even before I was casted, I was like, "Wow, this is very interesting. This is some good shit." Sorry for swearing, guys. I hope there's no kids in my audience. I hope there's none. That would be pretty bad. Anyway, it was some good shit. So, and as the days progress, I think we are on like the fifth or sixth day. We're almost a weekend, and so much has happened. And honestly, I wanted to share it all with you guys. I hope. Oh my gosh, this is such a long intro. I'm sorry, but I had to prep you guys for this. Okay, and it's my channel. Get used to long videos. I post 1 hour videos here. Timing, video length of what's that? So yeah, I thought it was really interesting to share. I asked the host um, of the object camp of Party Paradise 2 if it was okay to record this video and post it publicly on my channel, and he said yes. So yeah, if anyone thank the host. I don't know if I can reveal names. If you guys are okay with that, if any of you Party Paradisians are watching this, is if it's okay to shout you out for your awesome roleplay skills, let me know. I will shout you out in the next video. So, um, I will explain in the week of this roleplay happening. I will explain to the best of my ability all of the major events that have happened. As you can see here, this is a tier list I made. Party Paradise 2 characters. I'll put the link of this tier list in the description. But yeah, so we will talk about the major plot. We won't really be talking about any like side shenanigans that much here. Not much really happens like in terms of like side stuff. It is mostly the main stuff that's going on, and some pretty crazy shit. So yeah. So we start in a bus. Actually, no, not even a bus. Um, at a bus stop because basically all these 17, is that 17? 17, 18 because there's me. But I wasn't there yet. 17 people, 18 signed up for a competition to win $1 million. That's a lot of money. Enough to kill for, maybe. But they don't know that yet. But yeah, they all decided to sign up, and, they all had to board the same bus to go there. It was like a little camp. So they have to wait at this bus stop, and not much happens. Mostly some funny shenanigans, you know, a little starting like friendships here and there. And the number one most important friendship in this camp that you have to know about is between Cedar over here. Wait, let's zoom in. Cedar, this guy, and this guy, or a, they're a gender, but we'll just say guy. French Toast. These two kind of hit it in the ballpark a little bit even before. I think. By the way, guys, if I make any mistakes, please let me know. Please, I'm not good at. I'm not the best at retelling. I think I have good memory, but I don't know. But I'm pretty sure these guys, even before they get in the camp, they kind of, you know, interact a little bit. Maybe, they're not the best, they don't hit it off right away, but, they become good friends. They're both kind of recluse, kind of a bit shy, and as you get to know later, they have a lot more in common than they think. But for now, they just become decent friends. And yeah. Um so yeah, Cedar and French Toast. Oh, by the way, Cedar is a cattail. You don't know what a cattail is. It's a plant. Kind of looks like a corn dog. French Toast. I know, guys, this might be heartbreaking to say, but this is not French Toast. This is a Ratty Pop. I don't know what that is. I think it kind of looks like a lollipop, but ratty, I don't know. Maybe it's radiation. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. And this is important note. It kind of looks like an animal, like a bestial. If you know what that is, it's like half, not really half, like a human with animal features. But this is an object, so an object with animal features. If you've read the comic Objectified, I think you know what that is. So yeah, it kind of looks a little bit animalistic. Got some fur, some ears. I think you can't see it, but he has paws. So yeah, important thing to know. And yeah, there's the rest of them here. We'll talk about them once they, come into the limelight, into the spotlight a bit more. So yeah, they go on the bus. And then they go to the camp. And there's this guy. These two guys. Actually, it's a girl, but it's a guy. We have Sylvester over here. Who? Hold on. Let me just bring them down. Well, Painty is not. This is Painty, by the way, and this is Sylvester. This is Sylvester, the main host, the whole instigator of this whole debacle, and this is Painty, the co-host. Kind of like a silly, sidekick of Sylvester. Not really very important right now. So yeah, but so we only really have to worry about Sylvester right now. But yeah, just go chill over there. Sylvester. So basically, Sylvester's kind of a bitch, but that's reality TV host for you. Well, it's not reality, but TV. But actually, they are being filmed. There are cameras, but I'm not sure if it's being filmed anywhere. That'd be kind of messed up. Who knows? But yeah, he's just your run of the mill, kind of jerky, kind of a jerk host. Think Chris McLean from Total Drama, but a bit less crazy and more just kind of just has more attitude and kind of is not competent. Well, Chris wasn't very competent, but whatever. So yeah, Sylvester, since it's their first day here, Sylvester decides to take these 17 and Pebbles over here on a tour trip around the camp. We got some areas here. They'll be more relevant later on. But for now, we'll just ignore them a bit. So yeah. We've got a cave. I know, right? A lake. We got a mess hall. Got a forest. Got cabin area with some cabins, and there's some other areas not listed here. I think it was campgrounds. And there's a campfire. But yeah, these are the more important locations that we'll be seeing throughout the major plot of this camp. But yeah, so Sylvester takes a tour through all these places. Oh, and Sylvester actually asks them to bunk. Like they get to choose who gets to be their bunkmates. I'm pretty sure it's like four each, and then since there's 18, two of them get extra roommates. Now, actually, a few one person here in particular, one object in here in particular, did not want to participate in this tour. Thought it was a waste of time. So that guy's his name is Concoction. You know, he's kind of emo, kind of a loner, kind of a loner. Doesn't really like, kind of a jerk as well. But yeah, you know, he's kind of confident. He didn't really join this game for the money. He just wanted to compete. But yeah, he thought this tour was a waste of his time, and he ran all the way in the middle of the forest, where he reveals that Concoction, this guy over here, is his name is okay. I might be getting this wrong again. Please correct me. I think he also goes by Marxis, Marxis. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Marxis is kind of more like a shy, like secluded, like kind of like coward, basically. So yeah, he's got two sides. The Concoction. Okay, I think Concoction is kind of a front, where he kind of acts more standoffish, kind of more of a jerk. He swears a lot. He says fuck a lot. Um, like it's really noticeable. But under the facade is a lonely guy named Marxus, who is kind of pathetic. But yeah, no one sees this. But it does give some great insight on his character. And then so yeah, we won't worry about him now, but we'll worry about him later. Meanwhile, the rest of these guys, you know, kind of, just this is a very chill tour around around the camp. They go through all these locations, very nice. There's this one guy though. Um, his name is Denzel. This guy over here, I think it's like a bottle of pills, or I think that's the object. This guy Denzel. You know, I think he has a few problems in his life. And it really shows, because throughout this tour, Denzel kind of goes a bit crazy over here. I think at the lake, or I think Denzel actually splits off from the just like Concoction over here. These contestants, they're not really following the rules. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, Denzel kind of separates from the group, goes to the lake, where Denzel he kind of starts hallucinating about I think his past life. I think about some guy, one of his friends that unfortunately drowned at sea. And so yeah, he imagines that in this lake, and just like, oh my gosh. And yeah, I think he passes out there or something. Actually, wait, no. I mean, well, no, he kind of just goes through an episode, and then he imagines a boat, and then he passes out, and literally no one cares, except for this guy, girl. I think girl, her name is Starshine. Kind of helps him up, you know, checks if he's awake. Everyone thinks he fell into the lake and drowned, but no, it was just a chore. He's fine. Denzel's fine. He wakes up. There's no boat. He was just hallucinating. It's kind of going a bit crazy, but you know, at this channel we are always crazy, so it's okay, Denzel. We support you. So yeah, that's kind of the most important things that happen at this tour. And also yeah, they circling back to this, they get to choose who they get to be roommates with in their cabins. Well, some of them don't choose, it's automatically assigned. Not everyone was here, clearly, but some of them go into cabins. Let me just separate them real quick. Okay, I'm back. Hold on. I'm back. So these are the roomies. So we've in cabin 1, we've got Cedar, French Toast, Louis, and Valentine, I think. And Actually, these guys, I think over the course of the tour, they all kind of become friends. And yeah. Um so yeah. Cabin 2, we have Lanyard, by the way, is a photographer. Keep that in mind. Terry, I think Terry is wait, there you go. I think Terry is an algebraian, or yeah, if you know what those are, yeah, it's a number basically. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, it's a Google. You can't see the whole, but it's 10 to the power of 100. So yeah. We've got Sprug, best character by the way. Don't fight me. And Starshine over here. Cabin 3, we have Coconut Water. It's kind of feels that chill dude archetype, you know? Like, just wants to have fun. Death Wish, kind of like more of a recluse guy. Guy, also one of the best characters, one of the best objects here. Just kind of crazy, yeah. You can tell from this image. He already looks like he's having a fun time. He will have he's gonna give you a fun time. Actually, it's an alien taking control of a cow. What more can you want? We've got Odette. I think Odette Lockett. Kind of just a very fun, carefree, high-spirited girl. And we got Palm Tree, another chill dude archetype. These two, Coconut Water and Palm Tree, actually, they kind of get really close. They become really good friends, like kind of besties, actually. Because they're so similar, they bounce off each other, and they're kind of just the same character. I mean, they get different later on, but earlier on, they're kind of just the same character. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What can you do? And in Cabin 4, we have Concoction from earlier. Denzel, from earlier. Flipnote Star. A little bit crazy, a little bit cuckoo crazy. Oh, not crazy, but like it just a little high energy. And we have Gravitron. It's a robot. And yeah, and there's one more. But you might be thinking, hey, I thought there was supposed to be 5. This must be 2 extra. Well, guess what? Pebbles is still not here. But Pebbles later on, when it comes over, goes in Cabin 4. That's all you need to know. Anyway, so these are the cabins. So yeah. Now, going into the plot. So, they kind of just chill a bit for a bit, just for a bit. They kind of just interact with each other. They're just having fun. And then, on one fateful night, in the forest, French Toast, this guy, the Roddy Pop from earlier, goes in the forest and kills a deer. The deer was me, by the way. I was the deer. I know. You weren't in the camp. Why are you role playing there? Well, guess what? One of the channels was formatted wrong. It let spectators talk there, and the host let me roleplay as an animal. So I was a deer. French Toast freaking killed me. It was so sad, but not really. Like, actually, French Toast used their claws. Try to nab at me. Like, try to strangle me. They try to bite me. In the bad way, not in the good way. In the bad way. Yeah. And it, killed me. Just freaking snapped my neck. Killed me. There's so much blood. I think I did kick French Toast into a tree, but yeah. There's a lot of blood, because, French Toast freaking bit at this deer. This poor deer. And French Toast dragged the body away, cut it up into pieces, and ate it. Probably cooked it, I hope. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it was raw deer meat. Anyway, it's still yummy, right, guys? Take note of this. This will be very important. Oh, and also, French Toast. Okay, so Cabin 1 has a few problems. It's a bit, it's not the best cabin. It has a few, like, holes and stuff. It is not very well made. This guy, I think, Painty, I think she was the one who made the cabins, and she didn't do a good job on this one. So, French Toast, being the kind-hearted object they are, decides to try and repair it. So, they go out and try to find an axe to, chop down wood. You can't see me, but I'm nodding right now, very aggressively. The axe was just for chopping down wood. So, French just found an axe in the middle of the forest and proceeded to chop down some wood. And French just keeps the axe, obviously, but French just keeps the axe. And they go to try to find some hammer and nails. I don't think they did, but anyway, they repaired the cabin anyway. And yeah, the cabin is all better thanks to French Toast and finding a freaking axe in the middle of the forest. That will be important. Now, since French Toast, kind of fought a deer very aggressively, there was mouth action in there. There was a lot of blood, and Lanyard, this girl over here, photographer, was walking in the forest. So jolly, so happy, so unknowing. Until she came across the blood. And immediately, she's like, oh my gosh, there is a murderer around here. Now, she reasons that it could have just been an animal, maybe. But she which is true. It was me, it was the deer. Unfortunate. But, yeah, so she thinks there's a serial killer roaming around killing these animals, which honestly isn't exactly wrong either. But anyway. Now, it's getting a bit late. And apparently Sylvester over here, the host, said that 10 p.m. was the curfew. Basically, once it reached before it reaches 10 p.m. or once it reaches 10 p.m., everyone has to go back to their cabins, get a good night's rest, and not go out. Like if you want your kids to not go out, put a curfew on them. That's how it works in this camp, in this in Party Paradise. So it's getting a bit late, and actually, Sylvester and Palm Tree over here, chill dude. Well, not really chill, more like kind of energetic, but they were in the cave. Well, Palm Tree doesn't know that. Palm Tree was in the cave, kind of just exploring, like any cave dwellers would like to do. And Palm Tree finds some folders, some documents lying around, all just casually in the cave, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And then, once he goes deeper in the cave, Sylvester, being the madman he is, pops up out of nowhere and is just like, hey, Palm Tree, can you give me those documents? Actually, no, that's not what happened. Palm Tree, being the idiot he is, gives Sylvester the documents. He's like, hey, I found these documents in the middle of nowhere, these folders in this cave. I think, maybe you should check them out. I think it's important, like an idiot. So she's like, oh, thank you. That's really nice. Now, it's getting a bit late. It's almost 10 p.m. And actually, I think it does reach 10 p.m. around this time. So Sylvester's like, okay, time to go back, guys. Time to go back, Palm Tree. You already breaking the rules by being out here so late. But, let's just go back. And, go back. Let's, follow the curfew. And yeah, actually, Sylvester makes a little PA announcement about the curfew. She's like, hey, guys, curfew is up. Gotta go back. Now, Concoction over here. As we've seen from earlier, Concoction does not like to listen to rules. He didn't join the tour. And actually, Concoction is over here at the, I don't have... Anyway, Concoction It's just outside, you know. Concoction's just outside, not bothering to go out at all. Actually, Concoction, he thinks this curfew's dumb. It's for kids. It's for kids, and he's not gonna listen to that. And he's gonna be a bad boy and stay out, see what happens. So yeah, Sylvester and Palm Tree go back. They notice that Concoction is chilling. Outside, not listening to the curfew. So Sylvester is kind of pissed. Concoction kind of rage baits Sylvester here, kind of like, wow, you're so incompetent. You're so incompetent, Sylvester, curfew, really? What's that? You're not even, like, and you're not, like, taking a good eye on us? Like, really? Like, oh my gosh. Sylvester's kind of, fortunately fell for the rage bait a little bit, but, tries to keep his cool. Until. Notice how Lanyard is still, out and about here. Lanyard also did not follow the curfew. And it's just out here, She initially goes back to her cabin. She confides in her roommates, Starshine and Terry. Sprug's not here. But we promise Sprug is in the cabin. Because Sprug is a sweetheart. And nothing bad should ever happen to... Oh, them. Sorry, them. Nothing bad should ever happen to them. Please. Anyway, Lanyard is confiding in her roommates. It's like, guys, there might be a serial killer. Starshine and Terry are like, no. You're just imagine it, honey. There's nothing bad out there. So Lanyard's like, oh, okay. I'll calm down. But then Lanyard just goes outside. Doesn't care about the curfew at all either, it seems. And then French Toast. The guy with the axe. The guy who killed the deer from earlier. Yeah, he's also outside. And I think there's one more. I forgot who. I think it was Cedar. French Toast over here. But they've gotten really close. Cedar and the rest really enjoyed the deer meat that he brought back. But for some reason they decided to go outside. For whatever reason. And Sylvester sees these three. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then Kagash is like, wow, no one is following your little curfew rule, huh? Sylvester's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick and tired of these people not following my rules. So they all go to the campfire. I don't have it here. Probably should add it, but whatever. They go to the campfire. Concoction actually goes there early, ahead of everyone. And, he has this little contraption. It's kind of like a little hole, like... It's basically like a self-made lighter. And he lights up the campfire by himself. Yeah. He's just that badass. Everyone else goes there. So it's just like, hey guys, so... I know you guys have been breaking this curfew, but... you gotta listen to me. I am your host. Just listen to me. Everything's gonna be okay. I am the host over here. And also... important to know, Sylvester throws the documents into the campfire. They're basically unreadable now. Lanyard tries to salvage them, of course, from the fire, the hot fire. But, they're so charred, it's almost barely unreadable. And yeah. Sylvester's like, you so yeah, you guys just better listen to curfew. It's time to go back, And everyone just basically thinks this is a waste of time. And, some of them don't even go back to their cabins because there was basically no repercussion. Concoction just goes back into the wild, probably in the forest or somewhere. And I think Palm Tree also just chills out. I don't know where, but yeah. Most of them just don't listen. Some of them do, but most of them, they just don't listen. Because show good of host you are, Sylvester. Huh? But yeah. So that happened. And so yeah, basically they demonstrated that no one cares about this freaking what's it called? Curfew. So yeah, the curfew is at 10 p.m. and I think it ends at 7 a.m. I think. So yeah. Next day. Oh wait. there's one important thing. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at this. It is not the next day yet. So, okay, wait. So everyone come back for a bit. So, while Sylvester is, explaining, um, you know, trying to reprimand these kids, basically, trying to treat them as kids, French Toast still has their axe out and about, just holding it casually. So now Sylvester initially tries to take it back, but French is like, no, 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 no. You don't understand. I need this axe. I just chopped down wood with it. And French Toast killed. Hold on. French Toast. Oh gosh, hold on. Wait, guys. I gotta stop for a bit. My bad, my bad, my bad. Someone called me. But it's the crazy channel. I always get interrupted. I used to call it interruptions, but that's kind of rude. Anyway, yeah, it's okay. Anyway, so French Toast is still holding the axe, and it killed a deer, so it was a bit bloody. I think I don't remember exactly. I thought I was told that French Toast did clean up, but I swear they were bloody. It wasn't the axe that was bloody. It was them. It was French Toast himself that was bloody. Yeah. So Lanyard, the girl who saw the blood in the forest earlier, initially she calmed down when she confided her cabinet mates, but when she sees French Toast with axe, immediately this sparks back up. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is the serial killer that I saw. There was blood in the forest, and this guy definitely killed someone. Oh my gosh!" And French Toast says, "No, guys, this is a misunderstanding. Um, I I was just chopping down wood. Me with the axe and the blood. Ew, my mom bloody." And actually, Sylvester eventually successfully takes the axe from French Toast. So yeah, they have no more axe. Now Concoction notices this. And Concoction, it's kind of racist. Doesn't really like bestials, animals. And actually, Concoction kind of sees something in French Toast, Like, French Toast looks oddly familiar. Like, them. Now, they've never actually met before, but Concoction actually. I think Concoction, or Marxist, has met someone in their past that was not a good person. I think tried to kill Concoction or whatever. Or basically, they were just a really bad person. So now Concoction, Marx is scarred for life. When he sees French Toast, kind of act similar to this guy, the person from their past. From his past, Concoction kind of goes a bit crazy, thinking that this random person is them. And it doesn't help that kind of looking animal, Concoction, Loki kind of hates animals. So after some disobedience, I'm sure he still goes on and about. I think Lanyard and Cedar go back. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Lanyard goes back. I don't know. But anyway, so French Toast goes into the forest. Initially, French Toast actually went back to hit their cabin. What the heck? French Toast went back to their cabin. But, oh my gosh, hold on, guys. Anyway, we'll ignore. Sorry, guys. That was my camp. I just got pinged. We'll ignore that for now. French Toast initially goes back to their cabin, but, all of a sudden, French Toast feels like going to the forest. Well, let's just put them relevant. And Concoction just so happens to be there. And freaking attacks French Toast. They have this whole fight. Concoction freaking. I think Concoction. Okay. So basically, earlier, I didn't touch on this, but Concoction actually went to the mess hall. Concoction and Palm Tree, while had to wait in the mess hall for a bit. while Sylvester was yeah, when Sylvester was like, checking the cabins, Palm Tree had to wait there, Concoction had to wait there. And Concoction noticed, hey, there's a kitchen. And although it was locked, he easily broke the lock and started raiding the kitchen. It was mostly just like, there's not a lot of stuff there, not a lot of interesting stuff. It was mostly just soup and whatever. But there was a knife there, and Concoction pockets this knife in his I think it's a satchel. I hope that's the right character. Basically, in their belongings. Now, in the forest, while French Toast is out there all alone, Concoction pounces. I'm gonna kill you. You're evil. So Concoction tries to, stab French Toast. Now, French Toast is a bit more capable fighter, almost like French Toast has fought in before. So if French Toast decides to fight back, I think French Toast actually has a weapon, or I think they use claws. They're like their own claws. I don't know, but they basically stab Concoction here in the palm and like down in the arm, like somewhere, but not before Concoction kind of stabs him back. I think in the lower area, like the legs or something, and basically kind of just knocks them out. They use the lighter contraption that they used for the campfire earlier. Used on them, French Toast to like knock them down, like get them down on the ground, and Concoction just knocks French Toast out. Wha-bam! French Toast is unconscious. And Concoction, all smug, walks away, thinking French Toast is dead. Not really, but it was in a pool. It was in a pool of blood, I think. So yes, Concoction just assumes, yeah, French Toast is dead. So she walks over to the lake. Ignore these two for now. They're just chilling, kinda. Now, Cedar notices this. Cedar goes out. I'm not sure when. I think after the curfew, Cedar just goes out. Notices French Toast is not there. Goes to the forest. Sees French Toast on the ground. Unresponsive. Knocked out, unconscious. So Cedar takes them back to their cabin. Bandages them all up. Makes them helps them rest over there. And yeah, and Cedar goes to enact some revenge. So yeah, we're here for now. While the lake Concoction kind of rinses themselves, gets rid of cleans the weapon that they use. Basically just gets rid of any evidence that they ever meddled with French Toast. But how unlucky. Cedar, it's over here. And now I haven't noticed it. I haven't mentioned this because it wasn't important until now. But Cedar has a fucking gun. Shoots Concoction. They fall in the lake, unconscious, not dead, but all of their contents spill out. The milkshake spills out. They fall unconscious. I think that's what keeps them conscious. So yeah. Yeah. Concoction just fucking, gets shot. Falls unconscious. Cedar actually pulls them back into the shore, but basically just leaves them there. Leaves him there to presumably just die. Or not die, but just stay there. And goes back to the cabin, feeling fulfilled. It's like, I'm pretty sure Concoction was like boasting about, wait. I'm pretty sure Concoction was boasting to Cedar, like, I fought that animal, over there. I low-key kind of killed him. And then Cedar was like, okay, all right, buddy. Pulls out gun. Now say that again to my gun. So yeah, low-key kind of badass. But yeah, Concoction is now unconscious. And yeah, that is the first day at this camp. And already 2 people got injured. It's great. So yeah, second day. They all kind of chill. They all go to the mess hall. There's a little bit of shenanigans that go there. Basically, Palm Tree over here. Palm Tree. And Denzel, if you remember. from earlier. They decide to go into the kitchen. Now, apparently, the kitchen is just free access. Before, Sylvester was kind of pissy about um, Concoction basically raiding the kitchen, but now, Sylvester's kind of chill. Like, he was there, but, he just allows Palm Tree and Denzel go in there. Doesn't bat an eye. But yeah, they basically cook food for the rest of the contestants over here. Well, some of them. Not all, but, like, the people who are in the mess hall. Denzel cooks some pizza. I think Denzel actually worked at a pizza place before. And Palm Tree cooks some omelets. Yum. And, yeah. So, their food isn't the best. So yeah, one of Palm Tree's omelets was really bad. Like, so bad, if you ate it, you would regret eating it. You would taste that in your mouth for the rest of the day. And Denzel cooked a really bad first batch of pizza, like for himself, threw it out the window. This guy tried to chase after pizza, but it was really bad. But yeah, the rest of the pizza was okay though. And basically, Palm Tree kind of goes on this side quest, trying to go to every single contestant over here, even Sylvester, and gives each of them an omelet, kind of catered to them, their personality a little bit. Sylvester, he gives Sylvester the really bad omelet, by the way. That's what friends are for. Anyway, but yeah, kind of goes on the side quest. It's fun, but yeah, it's not too important. What is important is that okay, so Denzel kind of goes a bit crazy. So I think Denzel actually lost his pills. So he goes to the cabin area, try and find their pills. They're missing pills because that's what he needs to be sane. But unfortunately, Denzel kind of overdoses on these pills, and so he starts really, it just starts going mental, just starts going insane. And Lanyard over here, if you remember, she goes to the lake, finds Concoction there, unconscious, and decides, okay, this guy needs some help. So he just drags Concoction, tries to drag Concoction back to their cabin, and then notices Denzel over here, just kind of going insane, like, and kind of like thinks Lanyard is an enemy, trying to kill Concoction. Like, I mean, Lanyard is basically dragging an unconscious person. It looks really bad on her, but yeah, Denzel thinks she murdered him. So he's like, oh my gosh, how could you? I'm gonna save you, Concoction. Lanyard's like, okay, I'm gonna get you help from Sylvester, the host over here. Just wait here, okay? I'm gonna be back. So yeah, I'm not evil. I didn't do anything to this man. I just saw him. So goes to the mess hall, confides in Concoction. Not Concoction. Confides in Sylvester. Sylvester. So this guy is unconscious, and there's this other guy, Denzel, at the cabin area, low-key going insane. So it's just like, yeah, that's not my problem. You go deal with that. That's not my problem. And Cedar and French Toast are actually there. And they're kind of just laughing at Concoction's misfortune. Like, yeah, actually, French Toast, I did that. I shot him. I got revenge on your behalf. French like, yeah, baby. Let's get it. So yeah, Lanyard's like, wow. You bitch. You're so uncaring as a host. So yeah, drags Concoction back. Goes to the cabin area. Denzel's basically passed out at this point. And, yeah. So, Lanyard, finally activates her brain. She's like, okay, if Sylvester's not going to help them, I'm going to have to help these two myself. So, brings them to her cabin. And, takes care of them. Gives Denzel some water to drink. Tries to slow his heartbeat down. And Denzel eventually calms down. And, it's kind of chill here. And Lanyard, meanwhile, thinks, so what can I do for this Concoction guy? And realizes, wait, so he's kind of empty. Maybe he needs some fluid inside of him. So Lanyard tries to go to mess hall, see if there's like any liquid there. No luck. So Lanyard just takes Concoction to the lake where they once were, fills them up with water, and yay! Concoction wakes up and is fine. You know, it was kind of unconscious for a day, being dragged around, but it's fine now. And, now it's filled with water instead of a milkshake. And yeah, and now Lanyard is gone. Also, Pebbles. Pebbles appears, I think, around this time. That's me. I'm not really important to the story. Yet. So yeah, job well done. Good job, Lanyard. You saved the day. You saved Denzel and Concoction. But I don't think these people learned their lessons from yesterday. So because Concoction decides again to not abide by the curfew. So he stays outside again. Sylvester doesn't make an announcement. I actually, yeah, I'm not sure. I forgot. But yeah. And Cedar over here. Cedar. So the guy that shot Concoction apparently is not had enough. So French Toast really wants his axe back. I don't know, to chop more wood, but he wants the axe back. So Cedar, being a nice friend, they've really bonded. They've really became best friends. So Cedar decides to be a good friend and break into the host's cabin. The hosts have a cabin. I forgot to put it here. Breaks into the host cabin with his gun. He shoots through the window, goes inside because the doors are all locked. Goes inside, and he finds this metal box, I think. And inside is a revolver. And of course, Cedar can't trust Sylvester with that, so Cedar takes it. Obviously, puts it in his, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, his belongings. And also gets the axe back and some contestant files as well. He kind of takes some of those. Goes back. Now, actually, before he does, Sylvester. Actually, wait, no. Wait. No, yeah. Sylvester walks in. Oh, no, yeah. Cedar goes away, but, right after Sylvester walks into his cabin, realizes that someone broke in. The windows shattered, the revolver's missing, it's all chaos, and notices a bit of cattailness that was left behind from in the cabin. And he notices, Cedar broke into my cabin. I gotta get that hoe back. So yeah, Sylvester's kind of out, Sylvester's kind of getting at it, for Cedar. So yeah, oh my gosh, guys. This is so long. I told you that this plot is crazy, guys. So yeah, Cedar gives the axe back to French Toast. French Toast has an axe now to chop down more wood, guys. To chop down wood. So yeah, Concoction's just outside, and nothing much really happens. I think, they don't even after the first day. Sylvester just gave up. They don't really care. And actually, Sylvester wanted to take some matters into his own hands. And on the PA, says to Cedar, will Cedar like to meet me in the mess hall? Actually, I feel so dumb. I think this happened right after. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm making mistakes. I think this happened right after Concoction was shot. So Concoction was shot, and then Cedar immediately is like, Spencer's like, "Hey, my axe." Cedar's like, "Okay, gotta go into the cabin, shoot down," and then the whole mess hall stuff happens with Palm Tree making the omelets and stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry, but honestly, Sylvester doesn't really they were in the same room, right? And they were both in the mess hall. Sylvester does not talk to Cedar, really. Cedar's just kind of there, thinking oh, maybe he's in trouble. Actually, no. Cedar's really confident. He stole the host's gun and has a gun of his own. He has double guns. And he's feeling kind of confident, and Sylvester doesn't really even approach him. Really. There's too many people there, so all kinds of chaos. And yeah, but later on, in the night, after the curfew, Sylvester, uh, finally takes action. So they meet up in the cabin, in their host cabin. Sylvester talks to Cedar like, "Hey, Cedar, so we couldn't talk in my hall. Let's talk in my cabin." They go there, and oh, actually, wait, no. Cedar actually goes back to the. I think Cedar goes back to the cabin a second time. I don't know why. Goes there, and then Sylvester walks in. It's like, Cedar, what are you doing here? Because Sylvester actually didn't make an announcement for the curfew tonight. So Cedar was, lying up to right straight to Sylvester's face, like, "Oh, I was worried for you. I wanted to know where you were." So it's like, "Okay, all right, buddy, I know you're lying. So where's my revolver, huh? Where is it?" Cedar's like, I know where it is. Wait, well, initially Cedar tries to play dumb. It's like, "I don't know where it is. Fuck you telling me? Fuck you asking me for?" So it's like, "I need the gun. Give me the gun. I know you got it." So Cedar's like, "Okay, I actually know where it is." Now it was in the cabin with French toast. Yeah, very trustworthy man, by the way. So Cedar, lies. Um, Goes over to the lake, tries to go into a little bush, and pretends like that. He's searching for the revolver, of course. And then Cedar's like, it's not there. Sorry, Sylvester. Someone else took it. Sylvester wasn't taking any of this shit. Pushes Cedar into the lake, underwater, and was low-key drowning. Cedar was drowning. But, Cedar had a backup plan. Because, he has two guns. One of them is on his person. So, Cedar, in the water, tries to get out and shoots Sylvester in the head, killing him. And, I haven't mentioned this before, but right after, shooting Concoction, right? I think, Cedar did this whole ritual. Since actually French toast used their blade to fend against Concoction, I think. So Cedar took the blade and did a little ritual. Tore open the world. Like, he made a bald patch of grass. He cut his palm in a sacrificial way and did some chanting and stuff. Yeah, so all that shit, all that crap. Now he does this again to Sylvester's body. Cuts Sylvester's chest. And then just does a ritual. All is fine and well in this world. It has been like 2-3 days. Cedar's freaking killed the host. What do we do now? There's no more host. And yeah, so Sylvester's dead. It's not really chilling anymore, is he? So yeah, Cedar goes back to the cabin. She's like, "Yeah, I did that. I did that." The next day. Oh, and Lanyard again. Lanyard finds the body. Well, guess what, guys? The body disappeared. The freaking disappeared. Right? Just vanished, but before it did, Lanyard found the body. It's like, oh my gosh, Sylvester freaking died. I was just drawing pictures of him dying in my notepad, and now he's dead. I have a death note. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Lanyard's understandably pretty freaked out. And now, the final day that I will discuss, right? So, see, Concoction over here. He's alive. He's filled with water. And he gets a little idea. Now that the host cabin is unoccupied. Well, he thinks it is. But Painty, remember this guy, that co-host? Painty comes in. Concoction thinks she's a child. Kind of looks like one, but she is not. She is 18, I think. Or like at least adult age. Concoction thinks he's just a little child, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, Concoction tries to look in the host cabin, finds Painty there for a bobby pin. Why a bobby pin, you may ask? Well, Concoction, was planning to go into cabin 1 over here and steal, try to break into, cabin and try to break into Cedar's, like, briefcase thing and try to steal his stuff. Because why not? Because, Concoction was shot by this guy. I think, that's pretty light, like, pretty light payback, stealing their stuff. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he wanted to steal the guns. Because, like, he did not feel, Concoction did not feel safe. Knowing that there was a man in this camp wielding 2 guns. So Concoction's like, okay, we gotta take away at least one of those, or both of those guns. To immobilize Cedar. So Cedar, I think, actually, tries to find a bobby pin, but then, so Cedar, fresh from doing ritual, I think wait, let me think. But I think it was doing a ritual, right? And it felt really, this is the 3rd time he's cut his palm. He's feeling really woozy, and he passes out in the forest. We'll put him up here. And Palm Tree over here, still trying to give omelets to everyone. Yep, still trying. It's the next day. He cooked this new, fresh set batch of omelets, because some of them didn't receive any last time. So yeah, Palm Tree, being the nice lad he is, wanted to give the rest of his omelets. Now he and Concoction over here. By the way, Concoction was talking to the goat Pebbles for a bit before he got this idea to get a masterful idea to steal Stinks, Cedar Stinks. But yeah, it's not really that important. But anyway, Palm Tree and Concoction, they're pretty familiar with each other's point, and they find Cedar. He passed out in the forest with a bloody palm. They don't know it's from his rituals, so they're like, "Oh shit, he's passed out." Concoction, low key, doesn't care as much, but like Palm Tree finds help, goes to the host's cabin and finds Painty there. Painty goes there, and Painty bandages Cedar, and Cedar wakes up from the impact of the felt the bandages, and immediately rips the bandages off, and sees that his palm, the wounds on his palm, have been cleaned. And Cedar doesn't like this because it was part of the ritual, and now a ritual is kind of tampered with, and he's already mad that, Sylvester's corpse is just missing. So, yeah, kind of goes a bit insane, and pulls his gun, points it at Painty, and everyone else here is like, guys, get back. I'm not afraid to shoot you if I have to. And Concoction's like, oh my gosh, really? Really? You're gonna try to shoot this child? I'm not a child. But yeah. Cedar kind of goes okay insane. But, and Cedar wants to find his... And basically, they kind of took away his cane. Cedar's kind of old. He's almost, I think he's hitting his 40s. And he can't walk as well right now. So, yeah. He really needs his cane. Palm Tree finds the cane, and Concoction tries to walk away. Only for French Toast with an axe to holds it up against Concoction. It's like, hey, I make one move, I'm gonna kill you. Gonna freaking I see what you tried to murder Cedar, didn't you? Well, I have this axe, not afraid to use it. And Concoction, in this moment, kind of relapses back into Marx's. Kind of pleads for his life. He's like, no, please, don't kill me. And kind of imagines it's them, them from earlier, imagines the guy from his past. It is this guy, even though they're not related, but he thinks it is. And yeah, French Toast, knocks him out with the axe. You know, make sure not to use makes sure not to use the sharp side, but he tries to knock Concoction out. Palm Tree meanwhile is finding the Cedar's cane. After he does so, Cedar's like thanks, and Palm Tree notices Concoction and French Toast fighting, and pushes French Toast out of the way so hard that it knocks out French Toast unconscious. And Concoction was low-key kind of crying at that point. It was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna die. And Concoction was saved. He's like, okay, thanks. And he walks away. Just chilling with Sylvester over there. And Cedar also walks away. Because Concoction actually, back there, he kind of vomited a little. And Cedar does not like vomit. He low-key goes insane when he sees it, and he saw it, and he's like, okay, I gotta go. Ah! And yeah, and Painty kind of just there. And French is unconscious, so Palm Tree's like, oh shit, oops. So Palm Tree carries French Toast, brings him back to the cabin. French Toast, after a while, wakes up, goes through the forest, and retrieves their axe, of course. The most important thing. Gets the axe, and it's like, yeah, I got my axe now. And that is where the story ends today. Now, I think there was something happened with Cedar. I think he was looking kind of breaking down in the forest. It's like, But yeah, we will elaborate on that in part 2. I will make another part to this when the story progresses. So yeah, 1 hour long, as usual on this channel. I hope you enjoyed. As regarding my series BFYM, it will continue like tomorrow, I think. Hopefully, let's see. Yeah. So yeah, hope you enjoy, guys. I really had fun recording this. Oh my gosh, it's been an hour. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this retelling. I was planning to give my opinion, but this story's not finished yet, so I think I'll hold off. And it's been an hour. I might just make a separate video if I want to make a critique. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching, like reading these roleplays. All of you guys are so amazing. Again, if you want a shout out, tell me. I will shout you out. But yeah, I'm so tired. Yeah, you might think, oh, 7:47 a.m. Wow, it's so early, crazy. You know, so healthy. I woke up at 3 p.m. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to sleep after this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye and peace.